Living in a foxhole is like Las Vegas. Whatever happens in Las Vegas stays in Vegas. Whatever happens in a foxhole stays in a foxhole. What's going on? My name is Marcus Obiata. I was a combat engineer in the 101st Airborne, and today I want to talk about what it's like living in a foxhole. Now, I'm going to start this off by saying I'm not comparing myself to like a soldier from World War I, dying and living in the trenches. I'm just talking about what normal life is like for any common soldier who has to live in a foxhole. Foxholes come in all shapes and sizes. Sometimes your foxhole is as tall as your helmet, or sometimes your foxhole is up to your chest. I've been in both. Now, when you live in a foxhole, you better hope that your partner in the foxhole is somebody that you like. Otherwise, you're going to be getting very close to them, physically and emotionally. You're going to be having a lot of weird conversations and doing a lot of weird things with that guy to your right or your left. There's going to be times where you have to clean yourself in a foxhole. I'm talking giving yourself a full body bath, maybe even having to scrub the guy's back to your right. And if you didn't know, there are certain standards to how tall a foxhole should be. If you're not going to be there for a long time, you would typically only make it as tall as your helmet and as long as your body. If you're going to be there for a while, you're going to make it pretty damn deep because you need to get comfortable. Now, I've seen people make foxholes that were super intricate. I'm talking dug in on the side, they have a little sleeping compartment. Dug in on this side, they have their own little living room. And in the back, they have their own little kitchen. I've also seen foxholes where that person just dug a hole straight in the ground. He hated his life, but the foxhole did its job. One thing you should never do is go to the bathroom in your foxhole. One time we were given orders to dig our foxholes, but don't dig them too deep. Dig them to the standard where it's as tall as your helmet. Put up some sticks and some whatever to make yourself blend in, and we're just gonna chill out for a bit. So we were building these foxholes, and then we're just sitting there and waiting, and we're like, when are we gonna get out of here? Turns out we were not going to be in those foxholes for a short period of time. It turned into 2 weeks. Once we were given the orders we were going to be there for 2 weeks, we decided, okay, we need to start digging these foxholes a little bit deeper, and we need to make them a little more cozy. However, the people to our right got a little too cozy. One of the soldiers thought it would be a good idea to go number 2 in their foxhole, just dig a little hole under himself, because he thought he was going to be leaving that night. I'll never forget this. I look over to my right, and I see these guys digging and digging, and then we hear a, ew, what is that? Turns out that soldier dug up his own number 2. He had to pick it up with his own hands and get rid of it. That's why you should never go to the bathroom in your foxhole. But if you were wondering, where do you actually go to the bathroom? Typically you have a designated site like 30 feet behind you. You either would have to crawl there or be super sneaky, and then you would just go to the bathroom out in the back, wash your hands if you had the ability, and then you go back to the foxhole. Sleeping at night in a foxhole is actually very comfortable. The one really cool thing about sleeping at night in a foxhole is that you will typically have your night vision goggles. And if you've never used night vision goggles, you could see all of the stars when you look up in the sky. And when you put your night vision on, you look up to all the stars, you're wondering, what the hell am I doing here? Anybody who's ever slept in a foxhole for more than one night will probably tell you they had the same thought. What the hell am I doing here? Overall, the experience of sleeping in a foxhole can be a great one or a bad one. If you're in a legit foxhole in a combat zone, that is a life or death thing. You are always on edge. If you're in a foxhole in a training scenario where you really don't care, it is just a place of comfort. You try to make it as nice and cozy as you can. Overall, the experience of a foxhole is just having a lot of funny conversations, playing cards, drawing pictures in the dirt, and just doing your job as a soldier. And remember, do not go to the bathroom in a foxhole.